Crime and Punishment, my review, based on my recollection, having read it 27 years ago, which is a fun little, not so fun little test of how bad my memory is, and what really stuck out to me. Off the bat, I think it's unfortunate that Crime and Punishment is Dostoevsky's most famous book, because I don't think it represents the best of his writing. I think the reason it's so well received is because it's the most well plot structured of all of his books. So from my recollection, the novel starts off with the lead character Raskolnikov talking or writing about how he believes that intelligent people are beyond the law. And he talks about his landlady, who's this evil, terrible human being, and how if she wasn't alive, the whole world would be a better place. And how if he was in it, basically his plan is to personally unlive her, if that's the correct YouTube term. And after he's unlived her, he'll take her money, and it'll be better for the world. And that it's people with superior intelligence like him that have to make decisions to take the law into their own hands. And that he's like a Superman, you know? The law should not apply to people like him anyways. So he does it. He unlives his landlady, takes all her money, basically gets away with it. And then for the rest of the novel, he has to deal with what he did not expect, which is all the guilt he would feel, as well as paranoia. There's also an annoying detective who obviously suspects that Raskolnikov was the murderer, who basically keeps showing up and like toying with him. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this might be the first example of the whole like Columbo kind of like detective toying with the suspect, and he's basically stressing the living crap out of Raskolnikov. So basically, it's all about how the main character thought he was too smart, or thought that his intelligence was more powerful than his emotions, or his feelings of guilt, etc. And then at the end of the novel, he turns himself in, and he finds an inner redemption in doing so. Like I says, I wouldn't recommend Crime and Punishment to anybody as a first novel by Dostoevsky. I mean, he's written far better stuff for my liking than this. Okay, so now I'm going to read a synopsis to see if what I missed, and if anything sparks anything that I missed. And then oh yeah, how about that? Okay. So part one, the crime. I don't even know if this is separated into parts. I don't think there are. Raskolnikov, a destitute former student in St. Petersburg. Almost everybody in all of his novels is from St. Petersburg, I think. Is tormented by an idea that extraordinary individuals have the right to commit crimes for the greater good. He tests this theory by murdering a greedy old pawnbroker, Alyona Ivanovna, whom he considers a louse, preying on the poor. However, the crime does not go as planned. Her innocent sister Lizaveta walks in on the murder, forcing Raskolnikov to kill her as well. I don't remember. Yeah, I remember now that happened, but yeah, okay. Doesn't really matter. He barely escapes, but the psychological toll of his actions immediately begins to unravel his mind. Part 2, the aftermath. Raskolnikov falls into a feverish state plagued by paranoia and guilt. Okay, I remember that part. I already said that. His erratic behavior draws the suspicion of Porfiry Petrovich, the shrewd police officer assigned to the murder case. Meanwhile, Raskolnikov's mother and sister arrive in St. Petersburg. So yeah, there's I guess his sister is being courted by a pompous and manipulative Lutzin. I kind of remember that, who Raskolnikov despises. He also meets the self-sacrificing prostitute Sonya Marmoledov, whose father, a hopeless drunkard, dies tragically. Sonya represents moral redemption, and her deep faith begins to challenge Raskolnikov's nihilistic worldview. By the way, I think nihilistic can also be pronounced nihilistic. I don't think there's a correct way of saying it. Okay, part 3, the psychological battle. So the detective plays mind games with Raskolnikov, hinting that he knows the truth but lacks evidence. Meanwhile, Raskolnikov's friend, I'm not even going to say the dude's name, fine I will, Razumik, and tries to help him, though he is unaware of his crime. The situation worsens when, oh boy, Zvidrigalov, a sinister figure from his sister's past, arrives, revealing his obsession with her. Raskolnikov oscillates between confession and resistance. When Sonya reads him a biblical story of Lazarus, it profoundly affects him, planting the seed of redemption. Boy. Part 4. The confession and punishment. Zvidrigalov, after making a series of disturbing revelations, ultimately takes his own life. Shaken, I don't remember any of this. Raskolnikov finally confesses to Sonya and later to the authorities. He is sentenced to 8 years in a Siberian prison where Sonya follows him. Though still defiant, Raskolnikov begins a slow transformation, realizing that true redemption comes through suffering and love. The novel ends with the premise of renewal, as Sonya's unwavering compassion sets him on the path to spiritual rebirth. This psychological masterpiece explores guilt, morality, redemption, and the consequences of radical ideology, making it one of literature's most profound studies of the human psyche. So I got most of it. I mean, the subplots, not so much. Okay, so now I wrote to ChatGTP, tell me the legacy of Crime and Punishment. Okay. Since its publication in 1866, Crime and Punishment has left an indelible mark on literature, philosophy, psychology, and even criminal justice. Its exploration of guilt, morality, and redemption has influenced countless writers, thinkers, and artists. Okay, I'm not interested in everything ChatGPT has to say, so I'm just going to kind of pick and choose here. His theory, Raskolnikov's theory of extraordinary individuals who are above the law resonates with later existentialist and nihilist thinkers. Friedrich Nietzsche, of course, admired his psychological depth. Yeah, Nietzsche loved Dostoevsky. I don't like Nietzsche very much. The novel also influenced people like Sartre and Camus, particularly The Stranger by Camus, which explores similar themes of alienation and moral questioning. Let's see here, what else? The novel's exploration of criminal psychology predates modern studies in criminology. The way Raskolnikov justifies his crimes, experiences guilt, and ultimately seeks redemption has been examined by psychologists and legal scholars. Concepts such as the criminal's conscience and the psychological burden of crime align with real-world criminal behavioral studies. It doesn't really tell us much. It's been adapted into numerous films. It's inspired works such as Woody Allen's Match Point. And the themes of guilt and redemption in Breaking Bad. I don't think Breaking Bad was inspired by Crime and Punishment, although, I mean, blah, 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 blah. It's more than just a novel. No, I'm sorry, it's just a novel. It's a great novel, but it's just a novel. And, its legacy endures, proving that the questions it raises about human nature are as relevant today as they were in the 19th century. Okay, so that's probably my least favorite Dostoevsky book, so I'm glad I got that out of the way. Please comment and whatnot if you want me to make more videos about Dostoevsky's other books. And please, no matter what, make sure that you have a wonderful day.